Troy Kearns, real estate investor, bringing it to you from my Las Vegas office with an exciting topic today. How can you virtually wholesale real estate from anywhere? Let's get into it. I've been investing in real estate for the last 19 years, and one of the things that is probably one of the best secrets of real estate is wholesaling real estate. But unfortunately, sometimes in your own backyard, everything's not always the best deal. So you gotta look in other markets and find other deals, and that's when we talk about virtual wholesaling. How do you start to virtual wholesale? So my suggestion would be pick a market that you're familiar with, maybe a market that you visited often, maybe a market that you know there's a lot of opportunity. The Midwest, the Southeast, these older cities that have migration over the years and now are having migration back. Those are the markets that you're gonna wanna look at, and you wanna stay in markets that are close that you know of, okay? So find markets where it makes sense to wholesale. I will give you a good personal example. If I was gonna start wholesaling right now, I would choose the Midwest. If I was gonna go all in on wholesaling, I would pick St. Joe, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, smaller markets with inside bigger markets. You need to find an area that you know, that you understand, and that you are enthusiastic about. Your second step is you need to get set up. How do you do that? Here's what you need. You need a laptop or a computer. You need a Google Voice phone so you can have a number that is local. Those are free. You need some sort of an email account. Any sort of email account will do. I don't care about Gmail, Ymail, whatever the hell mail you want to use, you can use it. Make sure you have a professional business email account. Don't be like homie1@gmail.com. You might want to be like ibuyhomes@gmail.com or something like that. Be professional. Which brings me to my next point, build a website. The website should explain who you are, what you do, and it should allow them to be looking at your virtual business card. So you don't need to order any paper business cards. You just need to create a virtual business card in the sky, which would be a website. And of course, last but not least, you need the desire to do it. All right, third, you're gonna need to find some cash buyers. And notice we started with finding buyers before we started with finding sellers, and there's a reason for that. So when you're looking at finding cash buyers, you're gonna wanna look at Facebook groups, you're gonna wanna go to your local meetups, you're gonna wanna go to any single event that you can find where you can find people who buy multiple properties. And you're gonna wanna ask them, how many properties have you bought in the last 12 months in this area? And if they say 0, move on to the next. If they're not active, you don't wanna deal with them. You wanna deal with active buyers, somebody who's buying 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 homes a year or more, okay? They're paying cash, they're closing, and they're okay with you making a wholesaling fee. So you wanna build your cash buyer list first. And let's clarify what a cash buyer actually is. A cash buyer is actually someone who has funds. It's not somebody who knows someone who has funds. It's the person who actually has the funds. And you need to source them, call them on it. Hey, my investor requires that I see your proof of funds. Please show me a current proof of funds today. No investor, myself included, is gonna have any problem with you getting that. So you're asking me, Facebook groups, this and that, is there an easier way, Troy, to find cash buyers? Of course there is. The easiest way to find cash buyers is honestly either buying data that is going to tell you which cash buyers are closing on properties in the local market. You can get that from a title company. You can buy it from data aggregators. You can download all the data for the last 6 months, and you can sort it by buyer and find out which buyers are buying in your market. Then you're gonna contact those buyers and you're gonna say, hey, what are you looking for? I might be able to find it for you. And then you're gonna qualify them and say, hey, I know you're buying in the area. Are you still buying what you're looking for? You're gonna wanna introduce yourself as a wholesaler to these investors. They're gonna know what that is. You don't need to say anything else. You say, I'm a wholesaler, I find deals in your local market, what are you looking for? Make sure you get their cell phone, make sure you get their email address, and make sure you take notes on what exactly they're looking for. Next step, you're gonna wanna find other active wholesalers in your market. And you might ask me, Troy, why the hell am I going to want to find other guys that are competing against me? And I'm going to tell you right now. Well, there's such a thing in wholesaling business called a daisy chain. Maybe you have a buyer that you work with, an investor that you work with who wants certain properties and you haven't been able to find it, but you saw one and you know he'll pay this much for it, and you can contract it with that wholesaler, sell it to the buyer, and you make a piece and he makes a piece. No big deal. And the object of working with other new wholesalers is simply this, is to get into their investor network and to share your investor network with them. Everybody wins. It's a competitive market. If you're dealing with weasels to steal from you, they'll show their true colors in no time and you'll cut them off. All right, so now you got all that stuff. Now you're ready for the most important step, and that's finding motivated sellers. You need to go out there and start actively finding deals. How do you find deals? It's really simple. First way, find abandoned houses, find properties that are behind on taxes, contact the owners, ask them if they're interested in selling. Once you find out if they're interested in selling, go and contact them, tell them, hey, I'm interested in buying your property, get them talking, get them excited, and then you would already know what that property should sell for, so you're gonna try to get it for as low as possible that you can negotiate, and then you're gonna get into our next step, which is play matchmaker. You need to find a seller, a motivated seller, somebody who's actually interested and is okay with selling at a discount. You're gonna play matchmaker. You're gonna match your deal up with what your investor wants. And you might have certain investors categorized, like this guy only wants commercial, this guy only wants this area, and you're the one gonna give him all the information. You're gonna give him how much the property's worth, fixed up, how much repairs you think it needs, and what the market value is and what your asking price is. It has nothing to do with what you contracted it for. It's only what you think you can sell it for. Everybody who invests in real estate, they're all okay. As long as they get a good deal, they're okay with you getting a good deal. But the wholesalers who get greedy, those are the ones who don't last. And listen, if you're working with other wholesalers, build relationships, don't end them. Once you build the relationships, once you got it under contract, the deal's gonna close. You're gonna pair them up with the title company. You're gonna get the investor, you're gonna set the closing date, you're gonna make sure you got a good contract. And if you want a contract, you can go to thetroykernschannel.com and get a free one, dog. After you step back and kick back, you're gonna move on to step number 8, following up. And we always know that the fortune is in the follow-up. So you're gonna follow up with your title company, you're gonna follow up with your investors, you're gonna follow up with your buyer, and you're gonna let everybody know that, hey, this deal's closing when? Where's the title commitment? If you want to know what a title commitment is, that's the chain of title to say, hey, this property can actually be sold and insured. But don't let that deter you, because I will buy a property with a clouded title, and so will many other investors. So if you run into a problem, don't call the title company, just call me. And step number 9. It's probably your favorite step. You're gonna get paid. And listen, one of my biggest wholesale fees was $90,000. And that was in 2013 on a property we did in New Orleans with my buddy Chris Gennard. That was actually a daisy chain. We made, him and I split up 2/3 and another guy got 1/3. Him and I got $66,000. The other guy got $33,000. We made like $99,000 working together as a wholesaling team. So that's how you make money virtually wholesaling real estate. Get started today. Don't wait. It's not gonna happen if you don't start. Get started investing. I'll support you. If you have any questions, comment below. I'm here for you. Peace.